In a world. Sorry. All right, let's try that again. In a world where photographers on YouTube hype a camera every other month,
why is everybody buying a $6,000 point
shooting with the digital back medium format camera?
This video
was
is
the
about the
pinnacle
Fujifilm
of photography. That was
the film and old camera bodies are rising in cost.
Film wasn't expensive enough already.
This actually going to make me stop shooting film.
$79.99.
And having any opinion on why a camera is good or bad for you as an individual is either met with praise or the most vile hatred imaginable. One man is going to push that button one more time. Hey, what's up? My name's Andrew. You can call me Pooch. And today, I'm going to talk to you about my Leica M4-p. Why I chose this over the M6. I'm also going to show you some photos and give you some honest thoughts on this camera. So welcome to the Leslie channel. I'm really glad you're here. So the Leica purists out there are groaning. They're saying this isn't a real Leica because it wasn't made in Germany. And they're correct that it wasn't made in Germany, but to that I have to say, please, that's ridiculous. The Leica M4-p was the third of the M4 cameras, with the M4 being the first, the M4-2 being the second, and then the M4-p following shortly after. The M4-p was built with precision parts. Essentially, that means that Leica needed to save money. They also made these in Canada, except some of the later models were made in Germany. But it came with some great specifications: a hot shoe mount, a whole slew of frame lines to adapt with newer Leica glass. All in all, this camera was an upgrade from the M4 and also the other M-line cameras that came before it. Released in 1980, it had a fairly short runtime. The camera was only in production from 1980 to 1986, and what followed shortly after this was the legendary M6. Oh, the M6. Just the mention of that camera will send film enthusiasts drooling while also reaching to ice their wallets, because the wallet's going to take a beating if you buy an M6. It's no mystery that the M6 is a coveted camera, a powerful camera, a beautiful camera, and for all intents and purposes, a better camera than the M4, at least on paper. So you're wondering now, why did I go with the M4-p over the Leica M6? And come here, I want to tell you, I'm cheap. Well, I'm not cheap, but these cameras are not cheap. And this was strictly a cost-based decision. I mean, honestly, that's it. It's just too damn expensive for me, and I wasn't even really fully bought in on the Leica system. Was I gonna like it? Was it overhyped, overrated? I didn't know. I needed to see for myself and my needs. The key differences, right, between the Leica M4-p and the M6 is that the M6 has a light meter. It was made in Germany. The little red Leica dot that everyone loves to have on their camera was in the middle, like all of the others. But it shares the same viewfinder, and essentially it is the same camera. I'm just waiting for the Leica bros to hit me up down below. Listen, sure, the parts might be a little different, maybe a little bit better designed. And if that is of value to you, then I highly recommend that you skip over this. But don't get me wrong, this thing is not cheaply made by any means. And for me, the value didn't come in whether or not it had all of the Leica signs and seals of approval by the community. I priced it out for you. Here's the comparison. Essentially what I was able to do is I was able to buy the M4-p body and this Voigtlander 28mm lens for the same amount, maybe a little bit more than just the M6 body alone. Money's tight right now in the world. I can't rationalize spending a ton of money on gear that I'm not even bought into yet. And so for me, this is what made sense. Here's the thing, once again, I'm talking about a camera. I'm telling you all about the specs and all the things that I know get us intrigued. But what about the photography? Well, I've been able to shoot a few rolls through this already and gotten them developed. And I have to say, I'm really happy with how they've turned out. I understand that a film body is just a box, but I've been really happy with how I've made photos with this camera and how it feels in my hand. So here they are. There are a few things that should be noted if you're considering buying into the Leica system. Honestly, hands down, they make beautiful cameras. One of the first things I said when I got this camera was how much I loved how it felt in my hands. From its weight to how good it felt to pull the lever back and then squeeze the trigger to confirm that, yeah, I indeed took a photo. Being met with that little click is so satisfying. Loading film into this camera makes you feel like you're on assignment from some prestigious publication, or maybe you're crafting your next photo narrative work. Either way, you feel like you're a part of something. Perception is everything. I am a huge fan of inclusivity when it comes to creativity, when it comes to photography as a whole, which is why I often champion, you guessed it, Fujifilm. For me, when I use this camera, I feel like I'm using a camera designed for every photographer. They seem like a brand for the people, so maybe I've been duped by clever marketing or other photo influencers telling me how they feel when they use this camera, but I know for me, when I pick up this camera, I feel like I'm part of a greater photographic community. Fujifilm's for the people, for sure. Leica, on the other hand, can seem at times that it's not for everyone. Leica attracts a certain type of photographer, or at least an archetype that we have in our heads of what a Leica photographer is. Classically viewed as the elite camera class, or maybe even the camera for elitists. Perception is everything. At the end of the day, these thoughts and presumptions are just that. And only we have the power to change the way that we treat cameras, brands, and the photographers that use them. I don't buy in personally to the elitist mentality. I don't at all. I'm not camera loyal, I'm not brand loyal, I'm experience loyal. So hate it or love it, I'm gonna use what I want. And I know deep down that no matter what I hold in my hand will never define me as a photographer or a person. I've got nothing else to say other than thank you for watching. If you're looking to feel less lonely on your creative journey, if you're tired of creating alone, if you're sick of the rat race that has become photography on the internet, then I've got a place for you. And it starts with subscribing to this channel. The Less Lonely channel is designed for people who want to feel genuinely supported and inspired on their creative journey. So I would recommend you subscribe. All right, peace. Y'all gonna call me a certified Leica boy now, aren't you? That's okay. Roast me all you want.